Hi everyone, Gerry here. I hope everyone's well. Finding things to do through this slowdown and this COVID period. I know my own season was delayed a little bit, so I've been mixing up my days between some design and project planning, and I've decided to launch into a home renovation project here. So I thought it might be fun to make a few videos to document some of the work that I'm doing here. One of the things that can make renovations a lot more challenging than new construction is, well, for one, is you're living in the house and you have to coexist with the project that's going on, and life has to continue. So here I'm in my basement that my family has called the dungeon. So I thought maybe it's time to do something about this basement and turn it into a proper living space. So as you can see, a big challenge in renovation is that, well, your house already has things in it, and so all of this stuff came off of shelves, and it's been put into an island right in the middle of the space here, so that it's out of the way. Also, the washer, the laundry equipment here, I've pulled it away from the wall, and I put in a temporary link to keep the exhaust going. This all still has to function. There are 5 people living in this house, so there's a need to work around it, and it creates extra work, but it's part of the problem. It's very necessary to do. This house is over 7 years old. It was built in the 1940s, and so one of the things you have to deal with early on, of course, and there's quite a bit of it, sometimes weeks of it, is just dealing with the old house and trying to make things right as you go. So I've been playing around with some of the heating ducts. Here I had to repair a joist, but there was a duct here where the heating people came and just cut the joist away, put in a couple of 2x4 blockings, and they actually stuck 2 heating ducts into the same joist here. So I pulled that heating duct out, and I'm relocating it, and then I've repaired the joist. I had to brace it and put in a new sister joist beside it, and then I filled in the gap or the hole with a splice that's partially 2x, and because the old framing lumber is wider than new framing lumber, I added a plywood filler as well. Also, my plumbing was once connected to a septic system, so rather than going underneath the floor, it came right across the back wall, and I used to go out the wall somewhere around here into the backyard. And then when they decided to hook it up to city plumbing, well, they just kept on going and curved it around and towards the front of the house, where it went out above the floor rather than below the floor. So they put in a check valve, which is a good thing, but because my plumbing is above the floor and my ceiling's not very high, it's not going to be possible to put a bathroom down here. So I'm relocating a laundry room, or building a laundry room in the first place. So all of this is going to be going over to the front part of the house here. So I've had to create a temporary plumbing solution for the piping. So this awkward looking thing here is mostly temporary so that I can keep the laundry system going. So here is in the front of the house is where I'm building the laundry room. I've just been mostly insulating, starting to build up a framework, and I'm going to have to move the water. There's going to be a hole to cut through there for a dryer duct, and I'm going to be extending this piping here. Is going to be coming across to the front of the house. Also, I need this stud frame to receive all kinds of mechanical and electrical. I need to bring wires in here for the laundry equipment, and some utility plugs, and of course the piping, the drain piping for the washer and the tub sink are all going to come in here. So I'll fill in with a rock wool insulation afterwards, and then finish off eventually with some gyprock, and there'll be a little bit of tile work as well to do. And on this wall here as well, there'll be a floor to ceiling cabinet, some upper cabinets here on the other side of the window. This little cavity here was kind of a neat thing. That used to be, there was a metal door that there was ashes behind it, and in the end it was picking up ashes from the fireplace upstairs. So they would just drop down into the chute like a clean out. But it's a pretty large space, so I decided to keep it, insulate it, and I've worked it into a cabinet design where this lower section will get some drawers, and I'll have about an extra 10 inches or 10.5 inches of depth in this part of the cabinet here. You won't notice it from the outside, but it'll be very useful storage space. This new little partition here is actually a pocket door. It will be a pocket door. It's an odd size, so I framed it from scratch. You probably noticed the OSB here and here as well. I've used quite a bit of that. I like to use it as a backing for gyprock, so you don't really have to worry about finding studs or finding backing. It protects the gyprock from damage as well. I still have to find a track though, that I have one upstairs that I was looking for a match for that, but I haven't found it yet. I haven't been trying to explore hardware stores these days with COVID-19. I've been very, very limited in going out to pick up materials. This whole wall from the pocket door partition all the way over to this opening, which is actually a cold room that goes under my front steps. This will all be floor to ceiling cabinets, which are under construction right now, and they're sitting in the shop as carcasses. There's 6 of them that go in this area. They're all large volume, so we can put things like Rubbermaid and large containers in it. And then I'll make some nice doors for the front because it'll be part of the aesthetic for this room here. And what I was actually just starting to work on here is just framing in this. It's an odd sized opening, it's a very short door, which goes into a dark space. We just have sports equipment in there. This is gyprock here from the finished, kind of the finished part of the basement here. This is sort of where it starts. So I'm just marrying into that. So that's just an overview of what I'm up to here, at least in part of my day. And I'd like to break it down, and I'll have a couple of short videos exploring some of the materials and the issues that I'm dealing with here in this basement. So see you next time.